is Tuesday. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I'm evidential medium Stacy Niedenthal, where I come to you every Tuesday at 10:30, and we talk about things that maybe you're not comfortable in talking about with other people. So we talk about meditation and grief and death and dying. You know, we talk about how to grow spiritually and connect with consciousness. And just like every other day, I'm in the van. Let me just tell you, I feel like I'm a little crooked. The dash goes like this, so I'm a little crooked. We're at a hotel in Virginia. We're on our way to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the Only a Whisper Away Women's Retreat. We left yesterday. We wanted to do it in 2 days just to kind of like be able to take our time and to get there. And hey, check a look. Look. Are we ready or what? We've got all kinds of great things planned for the retreat. I'm excited to see everyone. We're going to talk about what we're going to be doing at the next retreat, where we're going to be sending out a survey. So if you missed this one, you know what? Maybe you can hop on board for the next one. I keep moving this because I feel like I'm sliding down, but that's okay. Not a problem. So when we send the survey out, it'll either be emailed or it'll be here on in the group. You know, just fill it out and send it back to me. We want to make it the best for everyone. Okay. So today, I want to talk about healing and the healing process, and talk about habits of the healing process. When I'm thinking about doing these retreats, they're not just like a grief retreat. They're a healing retreat for you to connect with your consciousness, with your higher self, with things about you. And I was thinking, you know, there are so many different habits that we could do to incorporate into our life to help us on this journey. And several years ago, I read this book by Stephen Covey, and maybe you all are familiar with it. It's the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And I re-looked at that. I didn't reread the book again. I've read it so many times back in the day. But I wanted to look at what the 7 habits were. And one was be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, seek first to understand and then be understood, synergize, think win-win, and sharpen the saw. So when I'm looking at those, you know, not that the business world is so much different than the spiritual world or the opening up journey or the connection with yourself, but being proactive behavior. It's mindfulness, right? It's mindfulness. You're being proactive. You're paying attention. You're putting things in place to maybe not go back into the place where you were. Begin with the end in mind. What's your vision? Goal setting. Manifesting, right? Putting first things first. Prioritizing. Focus. So, you know, you've got mindfulness, vision, focus, seek to understand, and then to be understood. Clarity. Okay, so in the business realm and in the spiritual realm, we're saying the same things just with different words. Synergize, raise your vibration, spread the word. Think win-win, manifest. Here's what I'm seeing. Sharpen the saw. Totally, always educate. Always be a student. Always wanting to educate yourself. So I wanted to put these things, and see, I jumped way ahead, and I've got all my notes here. But I wanted to think about habits that we could incorporate in our lives that would help us de-stress, get rid of anxiety, help to combat depression. And when I looked at Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, like, that's the same thing. Mindfulness, vision, things like that. So things that ultimately cause you stress are things that are undone. Things that we have to do. So like when I'm thinking about the days leading up to the retreat, I was getting stressed out. I kept saying to Denise, I can't freak out, right? Because inside I was kind of freaking out a little bit. And both she and Jeff were going, look, you can do this, not a problem, we've got your back, and it's going to be all right, and you know, it's the first one, and it's going to, you know, let spirit lead the way. So I had my cheerleaders in the background, yay, Jeff and Denise, for helping me not to freak out. I don't know how many times text Denise, and she could probably tell you, where I'm like, I can't freak out. Oh my God, there was a hurricane. I can't freak out. Oh my God, there's this. I can't freak out. You know, I have to just stay in mind, stay focused, stay mindful, have the vision, be, focus, and then think with the end in mind. Here's what I want to accomplish. So I wanted to give you a few habits that you want to incorporate in your life. And you don't have to incorporate all of them, but some of them are very simple. When you look at Covey's 7 habits, yes, they're very, very good habits. Be proactive. Well, how? Okay, so I just want to take this a little bit further. So I've actually even said to myself over and over, and to Jeff and to Denise and, to family and friends, when I hire someone to do a project for me, it gives me more work. But then I have to think to myself, when I give someone else a project to do for me, then it frees my mind up and other projects come up. So it's that, oh my goodness, there's so many more things that I could do. I feel like I'm talking fast. I just had some, one of those protein shakes and right? So behind the scenes, I've got all these things all these little projects that I want to do. And actually, like, I've completed a couple of them the last couple days, where I can put this check mark. I made a list, checked it twice. I was focused. I was proactive. I had this vision. So all of Covey's habits I've been using forever, but we tend to forget about it sometimes because we get all wrapped up in all the things that we need to do. So, I want you to think about what your passion is in life, what you're led to do. And I'm not saying to you that you have to know right here, right now, what your soul passion is, what your life purpose is. What do you want to accomplish today? What do you want to accomplish this week? What do you want to accomplish by the end of the year? It's those things that we want to look at. So, here's some things that I've been working on. And some of them you're probably going to laugh at and think, oh my God, this is so lame. But when you think about it, one, I'm practicing right now, but when you think about it, it makes so much sense. So I've got, how many goals do I have? I think I have 20 goals. Yep. 20 habits to be able to raise your vibration, walk a little further. Oh, it's telling me slow connection. Hopefully we're good here, guys. So the first one is smile more often. I guess when I am focused on something, or when I'm in the middle of something, I must have this odd look on my face that makes me look tired. People are walking by me thinking, what's that woman doing sitting in the van talking? Not a problem. So I've actually been practicing while I'm reading or while I'm doing something that I'm like, am I smiling? And I will smile. I make it a habit to smile. Smiling to myself like, you know what, I'm going to get this done. I can do this. Instead of having that rested, tired face. Why not smile? When you're walking down the road or you're walking through the supermarket, make eye contact with someone and smile. It's an easy habit to start. So when you're being proactive, right, you want happy thoughts. You want to be able to smile and know that the universe has your back, that you're on the right track. And if you're not on the right track, I'm going to smile about it and get back onto the right track. Number 2, read more. Commit to reading 10 minutes a day. And I am not talking about reading the social medias. You can do ebooks or, listen to podcasts, but read more. I am so addicted to books, it's not even funny. Most of you know, I went to the Omega Center in September, I think it was. It was in September, August or September. Anyway, I think it was August. And they had this bookstore there. And they said it was a gift shop, but to me it was a bookstore because the whole side was full of books. Every day I went in and I bought books. And I even called my husband and I'm like, oh my God, they have this bookstore. And he was like, oh shit. Because he knows I cannot walk into a bookstore and buy a book. I buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. Well, I bought 15 books. And I got these books And I just wanted to like devour them and read them and just learn from others. To me, it's that learning experience of seeing what other people's opinions are about something. And I may or may not agree with their opinion, which is cool, but I like to see what other people's points of view are. So when I would get done with class and I went back to the Airbnb, you know, and it was weird because I'm like, oh my God, what book do I start with? So I would read, you know, like the intro on each book until I finally decided which book to read. So it's been, a little over a month that I've been back, and I've read 7 of these books. So I committed to myself, because I am a reader, you know, 10 minutes a day is not enough for me. I committed that I would read at least 2 chapters a day and learn and just absorb all this information. And I'll tell you, it's been an experience. It really has. Some of the things that I've read about. And of course, you want to buy things that are of interest to you. So I bought a book on past life regressions. I bought a couple books on shamanism. I bought books on healing. I bought this really cool book, and it's interesting. I read like what do you want to call it? A scripture a day. But it compares scriptures to what the Buddhist scripture is. And I can't remember what the name of that book is. I'm sorry. But they're so similar, and I kind of just, you know, think about that every day. So it's one of those things that you want to continually educate yourself on what other people's ideas are. And I truly believe that picking a book up, smelling the book, feeling the book, reading the lines, it's just that wonderful feeling to me. I don't like to do ebooks. You know, it's hard for me to read on a computer, an iPad, whatever. I would rather have the book in my hand. And yes, I'm one of those people that will, you know, make notes in the book. And if you ever get a hold of any of my books, which would be probably when I die, you'll see in the front of it that when I've finished reading it, I date it. So if I pick the book up, I'm like, oh, I read this, but you know, it was 4 years ago. There's a reason why I picked this book up, and I'll start reading it again. And, you know, some books might have a couple different dates in it. So it is being committed to reading a book 10 minutes a day. Any book that will help you to grow and to focus and to be mindful and to be proactive and things like that. Okay? So that's habit number 2. Habit number 3. Meditate every day. Now you can meditate for 30 seconds. You can meditate for 3 minutes. You can meditate for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. But it's taking the time to clear the mind, slow down, and take in a couple deep breaths. And every morning that I've been waking up, I've been trying to connect with spirit and allowing my mind not to go elsewhere. And I had a difficult time this morning doing that, and it's literally where I feel like I am face to face with Spirit, Creator, and I just want to feel the presence of Creator. And I just want to breathe in Creator consciousness. And this morning, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, oh, I have to pack this from the hotel. Oh, come back. Oh, I have Tuesday talks. Come back. And I had to keep bringing myself back. But it is that acknowledging what comes to mind and then come back to peace. It's connecting with your breath for 3 or 4 deep breaths. And then the next day, 4 or 5 deep breaths. Feel the cool air going in your nostrils and the warm air coming out. Notice the relaxing shoulders or how your muscles relax. But commit to doing that every single day. First thing in the morning, when you take a shower, before you go to bed. But it is committing to meditate. Exercise. Well, that's one that I'm lacking. You know, I say every morning I'm going to get up and exercise. I'm going to get up and stretch. And, you know, I take the dogs out. Have you ever watched in the morning, if you have dogs, you get up in the morning and before they go out, they're stretching their front legs and their back legs and their neck. And I'm like, oh, I need to do that. And I say it almost every morning, but I don't do it. So it's one of those things that I'm working on. And, you know, I've started to, if we're somewhere, I'll take the stairs. instead of a ramp. Or I'll park far away in a parking lot and then I'll speed my pace up walking inside. So it's working on this, being conscious of this. Number 5, right? These are new habits for anybody that's just jumped in. Clean up every night. Pick everything up. My kids are all grown now. I have dogs. I'm picking up dog toys every single night. I feel like I have kids because I'm picking up dog toys. But that way I know in the middle of the night, my husband isn't like tripping over a toy, or I'm not, hitting one of the dog bones and rolling with it. Oh, I've got somebody walking over here to me. And then in the morning when you wake up, everything is clutter free. So you're enabled to, wake up in the morning and know that everything is okay, right? Number 6. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's standing by the van. Number 6 is you want to drink enough water. Be very conscious to drink enough water. He just gave me a thumbs up. He must have realized what I was doing. So when you drink enough water, either that or he went and he looked at the van because we have the peace sign and the waves, and now we have a surfing chicken on it. Okay? So back to habit number 6, drinking enough water. I've noticed that when I don't drink enough water, I don't sleep real well, or I get leg cramps, because my alternative for lemon water is tea. Well, there's caffeine in tea, right? And as I get older, it never used to bother me, but it's one of those things now where I always have a cup with me. You guys see my pink cup with my flamingo on it. My flamingo is wearing off, so I need to replace her. But it's constantly drinking water. Okay, and I also noticed that when I drink water all day, I'm not up as much at night to go to the bathroom. But when I drink iced tea, I am. It's heavier on the bladder and on the kidneys. Number 7, take a time out from your phone. You heard me. Take a time out from your phone. I have gotten to the point that I'm being very conscious of when Jeff is talking to me about something, I will turn my phone upside down so I can pay full attention to him. When I'm reading, phone is upside down. Because if it's right side up, it lights up when someone's trying to message me. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, if you were eating dinner and the phone rang, it was a distraction. And it was just like, let it ring, we're eating. Now, you go out to a restaurant and there's a couple sitting there. They're not even looking at each other. They're looking at their freaking phones. So it allows you to pay attention to each other. Number 8, journal. Journal. Write down important experiences. Write down quirky things that come to mind. It's getting in the practice of writing something down. Whether you are artistic, whether you're a poet, whether you're a writer, whether you're, a philosopher, oh, this came to mind. Write it down. Oh my gosh, I had the funniest thing happen. Write it down. Dreams, write them down. It's getting in that habit of writing. Number 9, practice gratitude. Say thank you for things. Tell people you appreciate them. Look for the good in everything, even in the bad. There's always something good in all situations. Always. Look for that. Okay? That was number 9. Say please and thank you. That doesn't cost you anything. Number 10, contact a friend. Just reach out every once in a while. Send a text thinking about you. Give them a phone call. Write them a letter. Send something to them. If you're out and about and you see something that reminds you of them, pick it up, pop it in the mail, and send it to them. That's a habit. It lets your friends know that you are important to them. 10. See, I wanted to jump ahead. Where am I at here? 8, 9, 10. Okay. I didn't flip over. That was actually 20. So, 10. We'll go back to 10. Get 8 hours of sleep. Good for the body. And I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast the other day, and it was such an epiphany, and she even said it was epiphany, that she read somewhere, if you want to get 8 hours of sleep, spend 9 hours in bed. because it takes you a little while. You're rolling around in bed, you're setting your alarm, you're getting comfortable. So you're giving yourself that extra hour. So if you want to get 8 hours of sleep, get in bed or be in bed for 9 hours. Like, hello, how obvious is that? But we don't think about it. How are we doing so far? Everybody with me? Let me know if this is the first time you've been on by putting a 1, and let me know where you're watching from. This is Connecting to Spirit with Stacy, and this is Tuesday Talks. So number 11, and these are habits. You don't have to incorporate all the habits, but these are habits to incorporate into your life to have a little bit less stress and anxiety. So wouldn't you think if you got 8 hours of sleep, have you ever gone to bed and you think, okay, if I go to sleep right now, I'll get 8 hours of sleep? And you toss and turn and you look at the clock. All right, if I go to bed right now, I'll have 7 hours of sleep. And then your mind's going all over the place. All right, if I go to sleep right now, I'll have 6 hours of sleep. Instead of that, give yourself that extra hour. Number 11, use floss. I love this. Makes you smile. Cleans your teeth. It makes you not be self-conscious when you're speaking to someone else. And that could be like your first habit. I'm going to, brush, or I'm going to floss my teeth. And while I'm flossing my teeth, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm smiling. And guess what? You have 2 habits down in 1. Number 12, give compliments. Let people know that you appreciate them. Appreciate you. It may seem small to you, but it's a big deal to me. People tell me, I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, I so appreciate you. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I appreciate you too. Okay? Number 13 is my favorite. Dance. Oh, you know what? That's exercise. So actually, I do exercise because I love to dance. It's movement. It's listening to music. It's raising your vibration. It's connecting with words and song and notes and just, right? Number 14, have a daily mantra. On Mondays, I give you a Monday mantra. Now, did anybody notice yesterday's Monday mantra? I had scheduled it because I know I was going to be traveling. I must have scheduled it for 8 p.m. instead of 8 a.m. So when it came on at night, in the evening, it said, good morning, Evidential Medium Stacy Neethal with Monday mantra. So I screwed up. I hit the p.m. instead of the a.m., but you got the idea. Number 14. I'm sorry. So the mantras gives you something to focus on every day. So if your mind starts to wander, you come back to your mantra. Today's going to be the best day ever. Today's going to be the best day ever. Whatever your mantra is, it helps you to slow down and focus. Number 15, make your bed. Before you even get out of your bedroom, you've completed one task. And then when you get to bed at night, you don't have to make it and make sure the sheets are all straight. You can just crawl into a nice made bed. Number 16, if you're creative, create 10 minutes a day. Remember I was saying about meditating for a couple minutes or writing or things like that. If you're creative, draw. Write, paint, whatever your creation is, whatever your ability is, do that. Even if you're just doodling, writing down words. If you're a musician, play for 10 minutes a day. Once you get into that rhythm, things will start to come. Number 17, develop an evening routine. Athletes, when they are getting ready to perform, they do different rituals that are exercises or stretches and things like that, because it's telling the body, it's preparing the body for what comes next, right? So if you have and after you exercise, there's a cool down so that your muscles calm down. So if you have a daily nighttime routine, your mind, your muscle memory is saying, all right, she's starting to put stuff away. She's taking the dogs out. She took a warm shower. She put her pajamas on. She's crawling into bed. The house is all clean. She's going to read for a little while, and then we're going to go to bed. We're going to go to sleep. But it's setting that routine. We did it for our kids, so why wouldn't we do it for ourselves? Okay? Number 18, cook instead of ordering out. Saves money, helps yourself with a budget. Usually you eat better. Hopefully you're going to eat better. But it's doing these habits so that you're not constantly eating out and you've got all these bills from eating out. Cook or prepare food so that all you have to do is turn it on and bingo bango, you're ready to go. Number 19, which we already did, contact a friend. Phone a friend. Number 20, start to set boundaries. And think about how you want to be treated. Think about how you want to treat others. And set boundaries. And I will guarantee if you start doing some of these habits that we talk about, boundaries will come. Because now you're not as stressed and as anxious, and you have more of a clear thought within your mind, within the whole process of you. Okay? And like I said, I'm not telling you that you have to do all of these habits, but pick one to just start with. Incorporate them into your life. Here's one. You just start one habit. Journal how you think and how you feel. If you start with smiling every day, you're going to start noticing stuff. So if you smile, if you actively smile at others, you're going to start getting into deep conversations with people, or you're going to start seeing, a different way that you feel. And then journal that. So now you've got 2 habits. I'm smiling every day, and I'm writing about how, what a difference I'm starting to see. Well, let's roll it back. If I start flossing every day, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm smiling, and I'm going out, and I'm smiling, and I journal what it says. Oh, let's roll it back a little bit more. I want to get 8 hours of sleep the night before. So I'm going to spend 9 hours in bed to get 8 hours of sleep, to get up in the morning, to floss, to smile, to journal what I've been talking about. Let's roll it back a little bit more. Oh my God, right? So this is how this works. After my night routine, I crawl into my made bed, right? I read for a little while. So it's bringing these habits into your life so that you can see a difference within your own energy. So I'm not saying this is the end all to be all that is going to get rid of your anxiety or depression or anxiousness. But if you start to be mindful of certain things, then things start to change. Do you have a fear of speaking to people, of, confrontations? Let's just start with smiling at them at first. Hey, how you doing? It was pretty easy. Okay. Putting the phone down when they're talking to you, because when they're talking to you, if you're looking at the phone, you can't comprehend exactly what they're saying. Do you need to exercise? I do. I'm going to turn the music on and I'm going to dance. I'm just going to dance around the house. My husband's used to that. There's my exercise. But it's putting habits into your life and adopting those to help you to raise your vibration, to help you feel better about yourself. And not only does it make you feel better about yourself, all of a sudden the people who are around you will start to change as well, because they're noticing a different vibe from you. Do you ever notice how if you walk into a room with someone and they're in a bad mood, instantly you're kind of like, ooh. And it's almost like air being left out of a balloon. But when you walk into a room and that person smiles at you and says, hey, how you doing? Because they've gotten enough sleep, all of a sudden the vibration raises. You walk into a room, there's music blaring and somebody's dancing, you're in a good mood. But it's looking at different habits within yourself to add to your daily routine. And then look at habits that you do that you want to get rid of. And they're not always the easiest things to get rid of. I'm a night owl. I like to stay up late. If you want me to get up early in the morning, we're going to have a problem. I have a 10 o'clock rule. And that's why Tuesday Talks at 10:30 starts at 10:30. Because my mind doesn't always feel like it clicks on until 10 o'clock. It takes me a while to wake up, to get around, to get a shower, to be able to even like have human conversation with anyone. But I've noticed when I go to bed earlier, I can wake up earlier and I'm more approachable, I guess is the right word. So it's just changing the habits that you have. I still like to stay up late because the phone doesn't ring late at night in most cases. I can get reading done. You know, I can just, it's quiet. And it's been that way ever since my kids were little. I would stay up late because the kids are all in bed. You know, hubby usually goes to bed a little bit before me. But it's one of those things, it was time that I could get stuff done that relaxed me. Did I break out and clean the house? Yeah, if I was pissed off. But then that would just, you know, roll things up in me. But it is looking at the habits that you're doing now and incorporating some easy habits. Smiling every day. Walking. Talking to people. Contacting friends. And like I said, I gave you 20 of them. You know, dancing, having daily mantras, being creative, journaling, reading. Get smart. You know, I feel like when we stop reading, we get dumber. You know, some of the things that I read on social media is I'm like, wow, that person hasn't picked up a book in a while. Not just grammar. I know there's grammar police. I wish my grammar were better, but it's not, and I'm working on that. But even with grammar or things like that, I might pick, I have an emotions thesaurus, and I know that sounds really weird, but if there's an emotion that I want to explain in writing, I might look up this in a thesaurus to see how else you could say it. And I don't have my thesaurus with me today, but I use that, and I think, oh, I never thought that's part of that emotion. Interesting. Just like Stephen Covey talked about the 7 habits of highly successful people, there's different words for different things. Proactive behavior. To me, it's mindfulness. Begin with the end in mind. Goal setting, vision, manifesting. Put first things first. Prioritize, focus. Let's see, what was the next one? Think win-win. And then mutual benefits. Manifesting. Vision, again, comes up to that. Seek first to find understanding, and then be understood. Clarity. Oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? 7, sharpen the saw. Learn. Continuous learning. I am not going to stop reading until I can. And then I'll probably have somebody read to me. Make sense? So when you adopt different habits of your life, it raises your vibration. Not only does it help you feel better, but it helps your surroundings as well. And like attracts like. So if you are using these habits, guess what? You're going to start attracting other people who are using these habits as well. And adopting them in your life helps you to live the life you love and love the life you live. Habits. I gave you 20. Look at 1 or 2 and just be mindful if you're using them. And I guarantee you, when you start to be mindful if you're using them, you'll start to see, oh my gosh, I do this too. I don't do this. I need to do this. So it is constantly being aware of the signals that you give out and what's behind that. So that's my Tuesday Talks at 10:30 for today. We are in Virginia right now. We're heading to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I am so excited about the women's retreat. Jeff and I will get there today, set up everything, and then everybody starts to arrive tomorrow. It is an intimate group. I think there's 7 who are coming, which is awesome because 7's a great number, right? And we'll be able to dive into so many different things. But we're going to have a great time. I'm excited about it. I'm freaking out a little bit because, of course, I have a lot for everybody to do. I have an agenda. I'm going to smile. We've got all kinds of goodies here in the van for everybody who is attending. And I seriously want to do another one next year, and we're going to put a survey out because I want your opinion and your ideas of why you would want to come to a retreat, what you would be looking for, where would you want to go, and we'll move on from there. So this is Evidential Medium, Stacy Needenthal. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the podcast is coming up too. The podcast starts at the end of October. There's a link on the website, and that's Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. On B2B. So I wanted to don't forget about that. And then check the events for other things coming. I'm sorry, I'm usually more prepared for the events when I do these, but we're traveling, and I'm in the van. I was going to use the business center in there, but it's right by the door, and people kept looking at me kind of funny, so I'm in the van. All right, guys. Stacy Needenthal, Evidential Medium, connecting to spirit with Stacy. I hope you have a great and wonderful day today. Look for pictures and things that we do at the retreat. I may wait until after the retreat's over to post them, but I love each and every one of you, if you don't know that. I really, really do. And I hope that you live the life you love and you love the life you live. If not, you're the only one who can change it. Peace out. I love you, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.